Mira Business FM, it is the morning drive. My name is Tim Elliott. Welcome to the program. If you've just switched on, you can contact us very easily, info@mira.fm, or just type into your browser, whatsapp.mira.fm to get in touch with the show. Now, there are many other ways to watch or get involved or listen, whether it's your favorite podcast platform, it could be YouTube, it could be Dailymotion, it could be Rumble, it could be Instagram. We're across those, so get in touch, give us a like if you can. Now, on the show, it is Gold. Jeff Rhodes is here. He's the CEO of Goldstrom Advisory. Jeff, it's always nice to see you.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning to you. We were talking off air there, and you were starting to tell me about what happened with gold last week. We'll get into that. But I was sitting here thinking, it's a roller coaster. It's not really a roller coaster ride. Do you know what this is more like? If you're at a fun fair as the kid, this is more to me like bumper cars. What's going on in gold at the moment, because every week it seems to me you come in and it's like, well, this happened and I didn't expect it, and this happened, and it's like the cars are bumping each other. It's not what
classic.
You expect.
Absolutely classic.
It's true though,
it's
isn't it?
So it is just, that is gold. It's bumper cars.
It is bumper cars in gold.
Yeah. I'm going to use that as a headline for my report.
I'd say, well, if you did that, you can have that one for free, no charge. But pretty good week generally, 5% or so up. And then Thursday we got to what, 42, 45 around
yeah, it was,
there?
4245 was the high.
Yeah, and then Friday, another bumper car hit you from what, behind, front, back, side, and probably on top.
Yeah. It was a funny old week, Saint. As they used to remember the football program. And the Jimmy Greaves and the Ian St. John.
Oh, I remember that many years ago.
That was great, wasn't it?
Yes.
When Ian St. John and Jimmy Greaves would say, "That's a funny old game, Saint." And it was a funny old start to the week, because we expected the US government to actually go back to work, and eventually the federal budget was agreed and signed off by President Trump, and you would have thought, in that environment, gold would have gone lower, but it didn't. It spent the week going up and up and up until Thursday, when it was the deal was signed into law, and it still held, and it went to the highest level since the all-time high back on the 20th of October. But then on Friday, just when we least expected it, gold came under sustained selling pressure. It ended up on the week, but significantly lower than the highs. And the way it started this morning, we're looking at 4,065 as we speak. It feels weak. Last week, this time, it felt strong.
Yes.
And that feeling actually was good, because we would have made a fair amount of money. We saw that nice 4% rally, and it looked good. Now it doesn't look so good. Perhaps we're going to have a little look on the downside. So I've just finished my weekly outlook. I think $4,000 is possible. I think now there is a cap on the market around 4,150 to 4,200.
Uncertainty.
It is, and to be honest with you, you have to have a certain type of mentality or brain to understand gold, because it's often you just can't understand what's going on and why.
Yeah,
it's all about. I've said it before. It's all about feel and touch, and I feel this morning it's a bit weak.
Right.
At the start of the week, I felt it was a bit strong, and it went up 5%, 4-5%. Now I think, as I say, the other way. We are moving away from. The trend is definitely your friend in gold, as with all other asset classes. I don't think we have a trend at the moment. We have a choppy sideways trading pattern.
That's an interesting one. So not trending, but trading right now. I mean, if that was anybody else saying that, I feel it. I would be looking at them thinking, oh, this will be a bit wishy-washy. But it's because it's you. I don't know. I'm putting faith in you. Maybe
it is wishy-washy, but there are times it's not, because it's probably only a few times a year, really, but I look at a month,
Yeah.
and strong signals, you probably see it on 4 or 5 occasions in that month. The rest of it is sideways and trying to pick a bit of money. It's called jobbing in the old days, jobbing the market, jobbing gold.
But this is the thing, isn't it? I feel like I'm asking you questions, and there's a limited amount of information that you can share, and there are a limited number of questions I can ask you, generally speaking. So what I tend to do with these segments is bring in other things, but it's just this at the moment. I could ask you a question today, and by Friday, that question is completely invalid, it seems. It really is kind of unfathomable.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, but fundamentally, the reason prices move in any asset, but particularly gold, if it goes up, there are more buyers than sellers.
Yeah.
If it goes down, there are more sellers than buyers.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, that's the only thing that counts, really.
And that doesn't really change.
No,
Okay.
that never changes.
The thing with this shutdown, I wanted to ask you this, and this is me asking you to speculate a little bit, but it wouldn't be unusual if this happened. The current shutdown is over. The government in the United States, which is so important for the rest of the world, is open until the end of January. It's not unfeasible to think that there could be another shutdown.
Yeah, I've read that this morning, actually.
And I wonder what that might mean for gold if another shutdown was to happen in, a couple of months' time.
So let me see. We've got 2.5 months before this.
Pretty much.
That's a long time in the Trump era. That is a very long time under the presidency of Donald Trump. So I think to jump forward to that, there could be quite a few kind of Trump tariff moves between now and the end of January. So look, it's this problem of the federal budget in the US isn't new.
No.
It's been going on for years and years. The last longest time we had a shutdown was actually the last Trump presidency. So I'm sure there's a connection there. So I think that would be a problem. It would be a problem, but I can't see it. I really can't. Things are going to be different in January. Everyone's starting again. The funds have got to find a way to make money for their clients. They're going to look at the best performing asset classes in 2025. And clearly, all 4 of the precious metals actually are probably in the top 4. I must say that I expect a very, very strong year in 2026. And by when we get to January, I don't think anyone will be focusing on the US federal budget, whether they're going to close down again. They won't close down.
New year.
They won't. No.
New brew. New gym membership.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It all starts again.
Okay. We should talk about silver, shouldn't we? Because good week last week.
Very good week. Fantastic week. It came off on Friday along with gold. But over the week, it was up 4%. 4% up last week. So,
not bad at all, is it?
And but importantly, above $50.
Yeah.
It was a very good. It was a good close, and it was only that weakness in gold that weighed on silver. I think we're going to have a period now. Silver, the trading range for me is around 50, so probably 48, 52, up a bit, down a bit, and then eventually this year, this month, you'll see $60.
Oh, when?
This month. I can't tell you the day. I'll try.
I was going to push you for the day because your predictions are they're remarkably accurate. I think.
Why don't Thanksgiving Day is last Thursday in November.
That's right.
The day before Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, okay.
$60.
We're not holding you to it, Jeb. It's just interesting. And then, so that's silver. Platinum last week, palladium. Platinum down, about 1.5%. Palladium just over.
Yeah, both of them
50
just
basis points.
sort of. They're like the other two now. They're settling into a trading range. For platinum, that's 1,500, 1,600. and palladium, I'd say 1350 to 1450. We're in a period of range trading for all four precious metals.
Okay. Overall thoughts for this week, I wanted to ask you for, because, looking ahead to Friday, I know you've got a very busy week. You're in, Doha tonight, you're off to Amman, you're off to Jordan. First time in Jordan as well.
It is, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Should be great. But overall thoughts, before you're back here, hopefully you're going to be back here next Friday? You'll be here on Friday morning,
late
maybe?
Friday.
Okay, well, we'll talk to you on Friday anyway, I hope.
Yeah, we can talk from Amman, yeah. No
overall thoughts for the week?
Yeah, I think sideways. I think it's going to be a trading week. Okay. Time to make money just by jobbing in and out. Pick your levels. Decide whether you want to be bullish or bearish, and just take, put something on the table and see how it goes. I think sellers and buyers will be able to make some money this week. So I think you're going to see the market really choppy between at the extremes. 4,000 to 4,200, but in reality, probably a $50 trading range with 4,100 at the epicenter.
So says Jeff Rhodes, the Oracle. I was reading something last night on AOL. I didn't even know AOL still existed, by the way. They don't give out the free CDs like they used to. But this was the 17 countries with the largest gold reserves in the world. And it came up, how the algorithm works. And, of course, I'm reading your reports religiously, as you can imagine. But the countries with the largest gold reserves, way at the top, the United States. This won't surprise you. You know this, of course. Main stockpile is in Fort Knox in Kentucky. There are reserves in New York and Denver. 8,133 tons of gold held by the U.S. government. I know there's no gold standard anymore, but they began amassing it during the 20th century after the Great Depression, wanted to be stronger financially. So I guess that's one of the things that gives us that kind of confidence in the U.S. economy.
Well, it does. Definitely holding gold gives any economy, it gives it that underlying strength. But you would have thought with those numbers that U.S. would be as a country, as people, big buyers of gold.
And that's what's so interesting. I don't see that.
No, I don't see it either. Look, Americans do tend to have gold and silver in their pension pots. They definitely do, certainly more than in the UK. But they're not really a big gold country. That's India. India and China.
Well, that's what I would have.
Because if we look at the amount of gold held privately in India, there are various estimates, but it's between 25 and 30,000 tons, which when our total gold reserves of all countries in the world is 36,000 tons, and you've got the Indian population having almost as much gold as the rest of the world put together. It's just incredible when you think of it that way.
The figures are staggering, aren't they? But, I see India as in kind of a gold light, if you like, almost a gold glow. So it doesn't sort of hit me with such an amount of surprise. Do you know what I did find remarkable in this article, though, was the second globally in terms of gold reserves, and I know this doesn't reflect on whether it's a nation of gold or a city of gold or whatever, but it was Germany.
Yeah, now Germany and France. France, Italy were 2, 3, and 4.
Exactly right. Germany 2, Italy 3, France 4.
And the difference in holdings between Germany and France, nominal, few. Maybe a couple of hundred tons, maybe not even that. They're around about 2,600 tons, around that number.
I love this because you don't have this article in front of you. I'll tell you exactly. Germany 3,300, a little bit higher, and obviously second. But you're absolutely right. Italy 2,451, France 2,436.
Yeah,
couple of hundred tons.
Yeah. So now, what is the common theme for those countries? They all went through and in the middle of 2 world wars. Plus, UK and France had at war for 100 years.
Yes.
So, but you can...
Some would argue still at war. That's a different thing.
Yeah. But those countries, the people have had to get used to over the generations to get up and go. And when you have to get up and go, you can't take your house.
Yeah.
You can't take, what can you take? You can take your gold and you can put in a Samsonite briefcase, really a couple of $1 million worth of gold bars or gold jewelry. It's such a portable asset that's why they love gold, because at times when you really need it, as I say, in times of war and stress and so on, it's there. And gold is gold anywhere in the world. You can avail yourself of goods and services, even swap it into cash anywhere. So that's why it is the universal asset that no government can devalue.
That's such an interesting point. Next one, fifth, China. 2,200. So, not far off
that's not
France
even
and Italy.
close. That is nowhere close.
When
It's
you
not
consider
true. It's not true.
Do you think so? I mean, that's what we think.
No,
we know.
the number, they've been publishing their official figures only recently.
Right.
Okay. Now, we know that China produces 400 tons plus of gold every year, and it's not exported. They can't export gold. Not allowed to export bars, right?
Okay.
They're also the largest buyer of gold bars, importer of gold bars in the world. And they've been there for a good few years now. So to say the official holdings are 2,000 odd for China, that's not even close. They're probably closer to India, to be honest with you, but we don't know. As I say, I think China, if you say who are the biggest players in physical gold in the world, it's India and China, China and India. And the rest of the countries they're there, but I think the most interesting thing about gold that we've seen this year and last year is the fact that everyone's buying gold. Everyone. Central banks.
It's front and centre, isn't it?
Funds.
Yeah.
Retail. And you don't hear, we're up 60%. There's no talk of scrap selling or people cashing in their jewelry. There's none of that at the moment. So the buyers are buying more gold and they're fresh buyers coming in. And of course, the digital world is helping. The crypto world is helping the case for gold.
Okay. One more thing I wanted to mention, 'cause, I mean, I could go through the whole list here.
Yeah, it's fine.
There is one more thing, and it is, so you've got China in theory at 5, but we know it's probably a lot higher, or believe it's much higher. Switzerland at 6, about 1,000 tons of gold.
Yeah.
One of the highest per capita gold reserves, that's, well known. India is next, and, the cultural, the economic connection to gold, I don't think there's a nation on earth that has that, and as I said,
that's right.
India has...
Yeah.
It has like a gold glow, in my mind at
Yeah.
least. But the reserves, just 853.6.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that. If you go back through history, and you had after India became independent from Britain,
Yep.
and it had the rupee, and I think those people who are long-term people who have been here in the UAE, I think at one point there was I think it was HSBC, or the forerunner of HSBC, was actually printing rupees here, I think. So it's really interesting.
Pre-1971, it was.
Yeah,
it
no,
was
absolutely.
currency, yeah.
Now, at that time, the authorities, the governments in India, were really worried that Indians would only want gold.
Okay.
And not want any rupees. And so the ownership of gold, I think it was 1968, was banned. And then the import of gold definitely was. And I think it was 91 that they started to allow some official inflows of gold. And it was 1997 that it was deregulated. So the import of gold was largely deregulated, and there were flows of gold, large flows of gold from the UAE into India. And those flows happen day in, day out today. Okay, so really, it was the fear of gold that the authorities didn't want to support. But even the Reserve Bank of India now is buying gold. And so that 800 tons that you refer to, I think 2 or 3 years ago, it was half that. So they don't, as a country, they don't need official reserves in gold because the population have more than anyone else in the world. So I think they're well kind of sorted out in terms of physical gold in India.
I enjoyed reading the article, I have to tell
It's
you. I've
great,
got
yeah,
down
so-
to, 17 here. And amazingly, Kazakhstan's at 17. Just a little throwaway example there for you. The oracle that is Jeff Rhodes, CEO of Goldstrom Advisory. So you're off to Doha tonight, going
Yes.
to Amman.
Yes.
Anything you can tell us about the trip? That
It's interesting for me. Yeah, I am going with a significant organisation in the world of gold, and I will ask them if I can mention them next time I'm on, but I can't do it without their approval.
Fair enough. All right. Look, Jeff, always good to talk to you. Have a safe trip, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate
Lovely.
it. Jeff Rhodes is the CEO of Goldstrom Advisory. This is Mira Business FM.